of very responsible Ghanaians, headed by a very renowned, eminent figure in our country, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng. And they are the ones who then designed a program for us of what we needed to do to try and arrest the menace and preserve our heritage. In the course of it, Professor Frimpong Boateng goes on to a meeting, a conference in Abidjan, and there the Ivorian leaders tell him, you people are not helping us. This illegal mining that is taking place in Ghana is beginning to affect us, our water bodies and our space in Côte d'Ivoire. Rivers, waters, even forests, they don't know national boundaries. They run across nations. And there he was, very embarrassed, very apologetic that the activities of Ghanaians is jeopardizing the space of a fellow and neighbor country in our region. That's how serious the matter is.
The seriousness of this matter cannot be left with just mere rhetoric. Titus Glover, only to speak to the issues. Let's go ahead. Thank you.
Alfred, thank you very much, and apologies to your viewers. But let me say that I'm a strong believer of those who are in the position to speak against Galamsey. Coming from the coast, and when you look at the level of devastations in these forest regions, speaks volumes. The water bodies have been polluted. All kinds of chemicals, cyanides, and other things have been used in these water bodies, and human beings are drinking this water to the detriment of their lives. The vegetations are gone, and to sit on national television to say that I will support such a cause in terms of the devastation, I will not. And I'll repeat and say that Galamsey is worse than armed robbery. Galamsey is worse than a civil war. So if, because of greed and personal aggrandizement, where you want to enrich yourself to the detriment of the very people around these areas where this devastation is going on, then you must bury your head in shame. I have read the report of Professor Frimpong Boateng. He attached some graphics, pictorial evidence. We are seeing all over on your screens. I think that is strong enough for any investigation to begin on the matter. One of the striking areas that I'm so happy about, it's a clarity that he tried to explain. And Samir is good at some of these things when it comes to particularly about the missing excavators. On page 30 of the report, according to Professor Frimpong Boateng, he went for a program on joy and hosted by Galamsey, my brother. And a caller called to complain about missing excavators, about 500. And according to Professor Frimpong Boateng, he said he had no clue because the minister then for land and forestry, my senior Honorable Meu, was then in charge. So he cannot speak to it. But the caller and Galamsey were not happy about the responses they gave according to the report captured at page 30. Then subsequently he went on to say that when Honorable Meu was vetted in Parliament, that question was put before him. And he said him and Meu never ever seized any 500 excavators, not even one. So the question is, where is this 500 coming from? But so far as he was in charge at the interministerial task force, whatever they seized, they've been able to account for them. Because at the time, there were no low beds. Because when you look at where these excavators were in the thick of the forest, you can't even have access to put them out, let alone get these flat trucks to put them on and bring them to the district capitals or the assemblies for all that. So that is one area that I want us to deal with it, because that was a manufacture from the opposition that 500 excavators have flown, and for that matter, it cannot be accounted for. But in his report, he did make emphasis on that personally, he has not seized any 500 excavators. It was then Honorable Amewu, who was the lands minister at the time. And according to Honorable Amewu, not even one excavator was. So where is this matter also coming from? Now, when you go on further to the report, he also made mention of the president's residence, close to his residence, where some Galamsey was going on. And I have been with the president for a long time, and I know his residence in Chibi and the very area people that lives around his neighborhood, and as to how an excavation or Galamsey can go on, because his home and the surroundings are a security zone. So I wonder who can muster that courage to go around his house to go and do Galamsey. And I see that a bit on the low side when it comes to the reporting in that angle.
Okay,
but
on that particular
but to
point.
say the least, I want to say that the evidence are strong enough. Evidence are strong enough for the police to carry out their investigations. I'm in full support, because as we speak now, the president has referred the matter to the CID, and the CID are doing the investigations. I want to appeal to them to speed up in the investigations, because those who are involved, when you look at the level of destruction, I cannot sleep when I look at this destruction on the environment and all that. So clearly, I think that the referral has been made by the president to make sure that the CID of the Ghana Police Service should deal with this matter expeditiously, so that we'll come to a finality of this matter. Fighting Galamsey, I keep saying it, Avi, it is not one man business. It is not one man business. It involves all of us. Because Galamsey did not start from President Akufo-Addo's era. It has started way back in ages. Government have come and gone. But the commitment in fighting the Galamsey is so huge. I can say that under President Akufo-Addo, yes, things are very rough, but he has not reneged in his commitment in the fight against the work of Galamsey. He continued to do his best. Some few security agencies, when they go, sometimes you hear that some extortion of monies are being taken from Galamseyers and all that. But we cannot say that the support we've had from the security services, i.e. the army and the police, have not done their best. You look at the commitment government has made. I mean, speedboats, and trained guards, and crashers, machines that will make them to move away from the water bodies and use these machines to crash these stones or sand in order to get the gold out of it. Government is doing all this, but still there are people who are bent on destroying the good intentions of the president. So I think that yes, it's a work in progress. The work is ongoing. Everybody must put a shoulder behind the wheel to support the president to deal with that, and come to those who are from the party and who are dealing with these things. I will urge that some seriousness must be taken to it, and make sure we do the needful, because it's about Ghana, and not about me, and not about one any individual. Let us see ourselves as one nation, and the destruction that is going on is beyond imagination. Thank you very much.
You see, so that aspect of the report, and I'll come to you, Mr. Jeffrey, but let me stay with the Mr. Titus Glover a bit. That aspect of the report about the happenings around the president's house in Chibi, we have that portion, as far as page 29 of the report. We'll put that on the screen shortly. He mentions a certain name, one Eric Entry.
Yeah.
Beyond busing journalists to the place to go and see, a place that has been, according to Professor Pomboating's report, they had to send a bulldozer. The bulldozer to the house or the area to go and, as it were, revegetate the land after he got this call. Beyond this taking journalists there, this Eric Enchi is described as an employee of the office of the president. Would you urge the presidency or call on the presidency to identify this Eric Enchi for him to also speak and confirm otherwise whether he actually called Professor Frimpong Boateng to tell him that there's something of this sort happening? It is on the basis of that call that he even moved the excavators there. Let's put that on the screen. Let's for specificity. Please, let's take a look at this. The impunity in the Eastern region is exemplified by near unbelievable activity in Chebi. I had a telephone call from Mr. Eric Enchi of the office of the president, and he narrated that the youth organizer of the MPP in Chebi was excavating for gold in a field close to the house of the president of the republic. It goes on to say that when we checked, it was true. Indeed, part of the garden of the president had been affected. Apparently, the president did not know about this. We quickly dispatched the bulldozer and an excavator to the area to reclaim the land and vegetate it.
Afi, I told you that I know the president's house too well. And when your cameras went round, you can see around the fenced residence, there are neighbors around it. And I wonder how a Galamsey can have that courage and boldness to dig to the extent that it can enter. You see the height of the fence wall. Can dig like a some move anything. Bush kusi that it can dig and enter the compound of the president, and for Professor Frimpong Boateng to go with an excavator to go and bulldozer. I can't fathom this explanation by Professor Frimpong Boateng. Therefore, like you said, Eric Enchi, who supposedly called Prof to give him the information, can help us, because looking at the house as a security zone, I wonder if anybody can have that courage to go and excavate and dig and get into the compound of the president. And their security is around all the time, 24/7. I watch on social media an elderly person who happens to be a relative of the president. I have lived in their house. There is nothing like that has happened. Nothing like that. Apart from NG, you people should go to town. I saw one of the chiefs on social media talking. And look, no Galamsey has ever happened in the compound around the neighborhood close to the president's residence. So I don't know where these things is coming from.
No, but what were you expecting the journalists to see after almost 3 years after the place was revegetated?
But there are people who live in the neighborhood.
As you took the cameras and the people
Galamsey
there, what you expecting
is
them
open.
to see?
You can't hide it. Galamsey is open. Why is it only Eric who saw it? And the rest of the people, including the security agencies, who lives in the house, and taking security of the house, not only inside the house, you go around it. It's possible that there will be even cameras around.
So Eric Enchi is alive.
He's described so we can find out from him.
As an employee of the office of the president.
I am totally lost.
Okay.
Of that portion of the report by Professor Frimpong Boateng.